my journey in F1 22. It was a rocky start at best. The game being delayed by a day or two. It's been a while, so I couldn't remember how many days it was delayed, but I didn't get it on release even though I paid for it, but hey, technical issues, I guess. But now, if you focus more on my team or career mode, then you guys probably had this mod installed, assuming that you just did settle for lowering the AI difficulty. Then the handling changes patch happened, and I just spun like there's no tomorrow. Touch the curb, spin. Get on the gas a tiny bit sooner, spin. Upshift to 5th gear to avoid wheel spin, spin. It wasn't the best experience, but still manageable-ish. I mean, if you're casual like me, who doesn't push to the limit, play AI at what, 650, 60, 65 even, then it was okay. It wasn't that bad. But, not being negative Nancy, but it just gets worse from here. For me at least. Now I decided to join a league after getting an invitation, because why not? And, based from my experience with playing career, playing my team, I was like, hey, what's the worst that could happen? Famous last words. But joining a league, kind of pushing myself to drive a bit faster, pushing to the limit, I just realized how bad the handling really was, because teetering near the limit or to the limit was something you needed to do with precision. And kudos to those esports drivers and drivers who are able to drive to the limit and still keep the car on the track, because I struggled on that department a lot, like a lot. And I still pushed through the league, did all the races, finished the season, and I quit the game. It was just, I don't know, I fell out of love with the game. I was just unhappy with how F1 22 is, coming from F1 2020, F1 2021, where the car, I felt the car, I could drive, I could, I could get on the gas without having to worry about spinning, or I could be on 5th gear and not worry about wheel spin. But I guess maybe that was the challenge of this year's game, which I guess not a lot of the player base liked. I mean, I heard some content creators, I heard some esports drivers complain how they had almost no grip, like it was hard to drive. But outside of that change in direction in terms of car handling, what killed the game the most for me was the amount of bugs and the lack of quality control that the game came out in. It felt like they had little to no quality control, because if someone tested this, someone would have whistled on the insane top speed or perfect takeaway of AI. That would have been clear as day if they put it on beta. I think they did put it on beta. That would have been seen from the get-go, because in beta, I assume you're going to be playing with AI, so that would have been seen. Maybe they didn't complain about the handling because, they changed the handling a month into the game's life cycle. So, but there's just a lot of bugs. I feel like a lot of it really appeared in multiplayer in the league races, where you had safety cars that last forever, or, you get the notification that, you should pass someone. And then as you pass them, you get the warning, give the position back because you can get a penalty. those were, at least for me, what the bugs that I've seen, I experienced that really slowly chipped away at the love I felt for the game. My motivation, my drive to play the game. But eventually, I gravitated back to the game. I love F1. I grew up watching F1. So playing the game just like kind of just fell back into my rotation of games, you know, and then kind of helped that some league friends told me, oh, they made some tiny changes to the car so it feels better to drive at least a tiny bit. So I tried and still spun. Then again, I was coming from Assetto Corsa iRacing, and I went back to my regular rotational shooters like Warframe, Destiny, Valorant. So I was really just out of touch with driving an F1 car, or at least F122's handling, where like it barely had any grip. Then new season of F1 came. It kind of gave me an F1 itch that Assetto Corsa can't fulfill, iRacing can't fulfill, at least in my opinion, because I don't see a F1 my team in Assetto Corsa. I don't see my career in Assetto Corsa, not at least that I know of. I think there were mods, but that's like, it wasn't part of the base game. Let's just leave it at that. So I ended up playing it bit by bit, and then it just sent me more onto like wanting to play the game more and more and more, and then adjusting setups, having a tiny bit more downforce, and just really testing what kind of fitted me when I drive helped me, I guess, like the game even more, because it wasn't like, oh, copy paste setup and you'll be fine, like what I did in 2020 and 2021. You know, I still spun here and there. It was okay. It was back to that manageable state of like, okay, I'm fine with this. I was like invited, oh, why don't you race in Silverstone, because Silverstone's one of my favorite tracks. Okay, why not? I hop in, put in a setup that I was actually trying a bit. It was a good mix. It was a good mix of setups. Like I looked at Nicolas Longue. I think it was Nicolas Longue setup, and then I think I had some TRL in there. I had Ron Hars. I looked at Ron Hars as well, and I was like, I did a mix and mash, and I, of course, increased more downforce because I remember some of the high-speed corners are sometimes easy to spin on, which has been my issue. So got that set up, did the race, and holy crap, finished P8, the top 10. I didn't do that in season 1. Like, holy crap, I was feeling a little giddy, that, and then that F1 itch came back even harder. Like, imagine spiking a volleyball. It felt that good. So I drove again in the next league race in Portimao, and I got a podium after a crazy last lap incident. Call it luck, maybe. And luck decided to shine upon me on that race. And I'll take it. Call it not technically a home race, but it was mostly a don't crash because rain situation. And me and driving in the rain hasn't been best of friends. Then Brazil came. It felt good. It suited me. I was able to get the setup that I could confidently say I was comfortable with. We joined the lower division as practice. Crashed because Haas decided to Haas and put me on softs instead of wets. A hiccup, but it gave me a good feel for the track. And in the race against other drivers, the main division race came, and I was feeling pretty good and confident. Famous last words? Maybe. Sprint was a bit crazy, almost crashing after 3 cars collided, cars touching, and almost did a through goes Hamilton. But more cars spun and P3 in the sprint. Now I was feeling really good. I'm totally not jinxing myself right now for the main race. Main race started. It was okay. No jinx yet. Then 3 wide happened in turn 1 and 4, and having downforce in a straight line doesn't always fit, So, boom. Then I spin. Yup, I jinxed myself. I cost a safety car, so there's still some hope. I was inhaling a bunch of copium. By a bunch, I mean a truckload. With how crazy the race has been, I've resigned myself to sticking to where I was until...
Pangil takes the win in Brazil. Renzo takes third. Miller is actually going to take fourth and fastest lap with only a way to get rid of him.
Look it up. Look it up. Look at that guy.
Pangil here gets the win in Sao Paulo, and he does it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Give it to him.
Give it to him.
And with that, we close the book on F122 and look toward F123.